Welcome back, children. Hope you all are doing well. Today let's go with the grammar session. Active and passive voice. Okay? Active and passive voice. First of all, what is this voice? It refers to the verb that tells about the doer of the action, whether the subject or the object. Okay? So voice we have two types, active and passive. For example, Lata sings a song. In active voice, the sentence is Lata sings a song. Okay? So Lata is subject, sings is the verb, song is the object. We are talking about subject here. What subject is doing? Lata sings a song. And when you convert into passive, what happens? A song is sung by Lata. So a song is object, is helping verb, sung is the main verb we changed into past participle, that is verb, and Lata subject. So what did you see here? Object changed into subject place and subject came into object place. So there is an interchange. There is an interchange between subject and object. Object went into subject place, subject came into object place. So there is a change of subject and object, change of the places of subject and object. And is helping verb, sung is the verb. In active you have seen sings. Sings is the simple present, or the verb is in simple present form. It changed into past participle. So you have even seen that there is a change in the form of the verb. So first thing, the change of places of subject and object. And next thing, you can see the change in the form of the verbs. Okay. And next, Lata sings a song. A song is sung by Lata. Is there any change in the tense here? No. Both are in present tense. Both the sentence in present tense. Only thing, the form of the verb changed, but the tense did not change. Isn't it? So, another point, there will not be change in the tense. Okay? Lata sings a song. A song is sung by Lata. Is there any change in the meaning of these two sentences? No. So, meaning doesn't change. Tense doesn't change. And the places of subject and object change. And the form of the verb change. These are the points to be remembered in passive voice while converting into passive voice. Okay? Now one more example if I give. She gave a chocolate. She is subject, gave is the verb, chocolate is object. Now how will you change into passive voice? This is in active voice. If you change the same thing into passive voice, again, a chocolate was given by her. So you can see the change in the places of subject and object. Object came here, subject went there. Because pronoun she changed into her. And what about the verb helping verb is. As it is in present tense, we used is. And here this sentence is in past tense, so we used was. Okay. And verb anyhow, it changes into V3 form, past participle. Give, gave, given. Given is the past participle. So a chocolate was given by her. This is in past tense. If the same thing I say, she is giving a chocolate, then a chocolate is being given by her. See what I said? Is being given by her. So when it is in continuous form, you will get being, B-E-I-N-G. If I say the same thing, she has given a chocolate, in perfect tense. She has given a chocolate. A chocolate has been given by her. It is in perfect tense. A chocolate has been given by her. So in perfect, you are getting B-E-E-N. And in continuous, you are getting I-N-G, B-E-I-N-G, being. Okay. Now we learn all this through the slides. Now see the slides, children. So active and passive. What is voice? All that we have learnt now. Voice refers to the form of the verb that indicates whether the doer of the action in a sentence is the subject or the object. So voice is telling us about the doer of the action, whether subject or the object. So what can be the definition now? A active voice definition. When the subject of a verb acts, the verb is said to be in active voice. So the subject itself is doing the work. So it is active. That's why we are giving it as active voice. Example, I made a mistake. So here subject is given importance. I made a mistake. In active voice, subject dominates. And in passive voice, object dominates. See, in passive voice, what is the definition? When the object of the active voice becomes the subject, the verb is said to be in the passive voice. See the example. The object of this active voice, it has become the subject here. Then the verb is said to be in passive voice. A mistake was made by me. Actually, mistake is an object in active voice. But here you made it as a subject. This type of sentence we call as passive voice. So here the verb is said to be in passive voice. This is the definition of active and passive. Here subject dominates and here object dominates. Clear? Next. So all the points we have learned. It changes the function of the subject and the object. It changes the position of the subject and the object. It changes the form of the verb. The tense of the verb remains unchanged. The meaning of the sentence remains unchanged. So all that we have learned through the examples just now, isn't it? Now let us go to the next slide. Now when you come to tenses, different tenses, how they change in passive voice. In simple present, I read an interesting novel, because read becomes past tense. So we are talking about simple present here. I read an interesting novel. An interesting novel is read by me. By me, I didn't add here because the same thing repeats again. Okay. So I read an interesting novel. An interesting novel is read. See the difference of pronunciation here, children. Here I said read and here I am telling read, because it is in V3 form, it should be in V1 form. Okay. Next, present continuous. I am reading an interesting novel. Am reading, present continuous. How does it change? An interesting novel is being read. I gave an example just now on the board, like she is giving a chocolate. A chocolate is being given by her. I told you. So when there is ing form, when it is in continuous tense, you will get being in passive voice. Next, simple past. I read an interesting novel last night. An interesting novel was read last night. Okay. Now past continuous. I was reading an interesting novel. Was reading is past continuous. So I was reading an interesting novel. An interesting novel was being read. So please notice this. Whenever ing form is there, you are getting B-E-I-N-G, being. Okay. Next. Present perfect. I have read an interesting novel. Have read. Have is used for plural. Has is used for singular. So I have read an interesting novel. How does it change? An interesting novel has been read. So you added been here. B-E-E-N. Been is used in perfect tenses when you are converting into passive voice. Next, past perfect. I had read an interesting novel. Had read. Had plus V3. Past perfect. How does it change? An interesting novel had been read. So notice here, B-E-E-N. Been is used in perfect tenses. Okay. Now simple future. I will read an interesting novel. An interesting novel will be read. So here you are adding B-E-B after the modal will. Will be read. Okay. Then if you come to future, be going to. Then I am going to read an interesting novel. An interesting novel is going to be read. So you are adding be here. Whenever you are getting this model and whenever you are getting am going to in future, you are adding B-E-B. Okay. Then models. I should read an interesting novel. An interesting novel should be read by me. Should be. Model plus B-E-B plus V3 form. Okay. I'll show you the structures later on in the next slides. Just see the examples. Number of examples are needed in grammar. Next, model perfect. I should have read an interesting novel. Should have read, is it? Perfect. Okay. So, an interesting novel should have been read. So, whenever perfect is there, you are getting B-E-E and B. Is it clear? So, in continuous, you are getting B-E-I-N-G. In perfect, you are getting B-E-E-N. Okay. Now, coming to the next slide. We'll see the next slide. Simple present. She does the homework. The homework is done by her. So, this is the structure. Am or is or are plus past participle. The homework is done by her. Is past perfect participle, that is done by her. Okay. Next, he did the homework. Simple past. The homework was done by him. So, the homework, it is in singular. So, you will get was. If it is in plural, you will get were. So, the homework was past participle done by him. Present continuous. She is doing the homework. The homework is being done by her. So, is being past participle done by her. Okay. Next, past continuous. He was doing the homework. The homework was being done by him. So, here also was, being and past participle done. Present perfect. She has done the homework. Here it is about perfect tense. She has done the homework. The homework has been done by her. Has or have. Have is used for plural, has is used for singular. So the homework has been past participle done by her. Next, he had done the homework, past perfect. The homework had been done by him. The homework had been past participle done by him. Simple future. She will do the homework. The homework will be done by her. So will plus be plus past participle. So these are the structures of various tenses. Now next slide. When you can see the structure here. Is or am or are plus V3 form. In continuous, is or am or are plus being plus V3 form. And in perfect, has or have plus being plus V3 form. Coming to past, was or were plus V3. Was is for singular, were is for plural plus V3 form. Then was or were plus being plus V3 form in continuous. Then had plus being plus V3 form in perfect. Then future, will or shall plus be plus V3 form. And coming to continuous, you will not find any passive voice. Then in perfect, will or shall plus have been plus V3. These are the structures of these tenses. So these structures, you can pause the video and can go through once for better understanding. Next, coming to interrogative sentences. If the question in the active voice begins with the helping verb, you will find the same helping verb even in the passive voice. You have to start with the helping verb even in passive voice depending on the sentence. Like, are you writing a letter? Changed into, is a letter being written by you? Here you used are as helping verb because are is used for plural and you we denote it as a plural word. So we used are. And in passive, object comes to subject place. So here is a letter because a letter is a singular one. So we used is. Is a letter being written by you? Okay. Then is she beating the child? Is the child beaten by her? So here you use same helping verb because there is no change in the number of noun, that is plural or singular. Next, will you accept the position? Will the position be accepted by you? Who broke the window? By whom was the window broken? So here, when you are starting the question with WH forms or how form, you will get the same word even in the passive. Who broke the window? By whom was the window broken? Why did you write such a letter? Why was such a letter written by you? So in WH questions you will use the same thing, but when you are using the helping verbs, depending on the number of the noun, you have to change these helping verbs. So next one. Verbs with two objects. In some sentences we have two objects. Like, if you see the example, what are those two objects first of all? Direct and indirect object. Let us see what it is. They showed me their last album. They is subject, showed is verb, me is indirect object, their last album is direct object. Why we are telling this as direct object? Because directly they showed you something. What did they show? Their last album. So that will be the direct object. And me will become indirect object. Okay. So when you get two objects like this in a sentence, this indirect object, IO, indirect object, it takes the place of subject. Okay. If you see here, even the colors are matching. Okay. If you see here, indirect object has changed into subject. So both are in purple color. Me changed to I. I was shown, verb. This is also a verb. So showed changed into was shown. And direct object, their last album, same color here. And by whom? They, by them, agent. Okay, so me became the subject as I. I was shown their last album by them. Did you understand? So when you have two objects, indirect object takes the place of subject. Next. Passive voice of sentences with infinitive to when you are using to in the sentence. Like in active, subject plus helping verb plus to plus first form of verb, that is V1 plus object. And same thing when you come to passive, how it changes? Object plus helping verb plus to plus be plus third form, V3 form of verb plus by plus subject. Don't think it's a very bigger one. When you get to the example, it becomes easy for you. Okay, let us see the example. Then you can relate this example with the structure. Active voice, she is to cook the food. What is she here? Subject. Is helping verb. To cook, first form of verb. The food is object. So, she is to cook the food. Infinitive to we are using. Now, how does it change in passive? Object comes to subject. The food is, same thing here. Object, the food is, helping verb is, to, be. Third form of cook is cooked. By, subject, her. Okay. So, she is to cook the food, changed into the food is to be cooked by her. And another example, I am to buy the book. The book is to be bought by me. So, if you see the examples, then easily you can understand the structure. Grammar always we learn by examples rather than learning the definitions and structures first. Now, imperative sentences. Open the door. How does it change? Let the door be opened. Complete the work. Let the work be completed. Turn off the television. Let the television be turned off. Learn your lesson. Let your lesson be learned. Kill the snake. Let the snake be killed. Punish him. Let him be punished. Speak the truth. Let the truth be spoken. Help the poor. Let the poor be helped. Revise your book. Let your book be revised. Clean your room. Let your room be cleaned. So here you are using let and object came into the subject. Subject went to object and V3 form of the verb is used with be in front of it. Is it clear, everybody? Next. Basing on all that what we have learned, I gave you this exercise today. Complete this exercise and in the next class I am going to check the answers. Thank you, children. Hope you all understood. Thank you, children, once again. Hope you all enjoyed the class. So we'll meet again in the next session. Thank you.